first and foremost, as always, a big congratulations on this film.
Thank you.
You know, I've been going to Sundance for many years. I was thrown into the Overflow Theater this year for this movie.
Yeah.
But what was it like for you to kind of premiere it at Sundance?
Oh, I mean, our first film together, Myth of Fingerprints, premiered there in '97.
Yeah.
So it was pretty awesome. I mean, it was so great. I mean, audiences are so like ravenous for movies, and it's a nice moment to be able to look back and see how much time has passed and what we've accomplished. But mainly, it's just such a positive environment of people who want to appreciate movies. And we kind of it was a celebration for us because you work so hard on things like this. It's nice to have like a big party, and that's what Sundance felt like.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys have worked together, obviously in life, but also in film. This is your fourth film together, right? As a husband and wife duo, what does it feel like working on a movie together?
Oh, it's great. I mean, it's great to have something that you both really care about, that you're collaborating on, where you can rely on one another and share. I think as work partners and life partners, and it's a lot at the same time because it's like suddenly your whole world is involved in it. You know, I mean, your kids get roped into it. Your free time is pulled into. You know, you drive to work together, you drive home together. It's wonderful. I think it's very unusual that you get to have that kind of experience where so much of your professional life is seeping into your personal life and vice versa.
Yeah, and I think as artists, it's nice because so much of so much of our inner lives, my inner life at least, is taken up, you know, for this year or 2 years dealing with the story and the complexities of it, and to get to share that and talk about it and collaborate, I think it's a really nice common ground to have. And then we have times where we're working on separate things where we're apart, so we have kind of the best of both worlds, I feel like. And mainly getting to have her talent lent to this project, and what she brings, that every director kind of knows what she brings, but this authenticity, this kind of fierce authenticity, is so exciting to get to see on set. That's kind of first and foremost, and the rest of it's just like icing. You know?
I think another thing that I really loved about this movie was you, of course, reuniting once again with Billy. Billy, I think, is one of the most underrated actors in Hollywood. There was a movie that came out actually at Sundance that I absolutely adored called Rudderless.
Oh, I saw it.
Which is just fantastic.
Yeah, he's a wonderful actor.
So for you, obviously, what's the quality about him that makes you want to keep bringing him back into projects?
I think it's the same. I mean, we're really best friends, so that's awesome. It's the way he likes to collaborate. Every actor works differently, in my opinion, in my experience, rather. And Billy loves to talk things out and figure it out, and so we get to have this great collaboration. But it's his, like, he's just totally committed to everything being truthful, and always striving for that. So it's just great because he'll say things to me like, wait, what were they talking about for an hour before they got to this scene? And he'll really challenge me on that stuff, but in a kind way. So he's just a great collaborator, and he's very deep and very committed to the truth. Yeah.
So this film is obviously a remake for both of you. What is the fear of being part of a project that is a remake?
Well, as a friend of mine said, their director said, you're never remaking a movie. You're always making a movie.
Okay.
And I think that's an important thing to bear in mind. If you are going to make this movie and it is on it's material that has been made before, then, and Bart's been very eloquent about this, then what are you saying? You know, what is your iteration going to be? How are you going to you don't want to literally do what has just been done. You're using this material to tell a similar but a somewhat different story. So I think when we you know, when they hit upon the gender flip, that I found really, really compelling, because it's like, how do you tell this story that we haven't seen told very often about these two very powerful women, both of whom believe they've made the right moral choice, and their encounter, and, you know, and what happens, and also I think the fact, because they are female, there have been very deliberate choices that each of the characters have made that weren't made in Suzanne Bier's movie, where it was a more unconscious thing that had happened, less considered.
Yes.
So the fact that these people are maybe even more morally complicated than in the previous one, it raised the stakes to a degree that I found really compelling.
Yeah, and for me, I had actually, the only fear I had about it was that I would diminish her work in some way. And I guess a fear that I knew how great a story it was, and what I love about it is this strong narrative. It's all these reveals. It's a big story, really. And there are these three-dimensional characters. So you get to explore the characters in this big story. You have the payoff of the narrative and the payoff of the inner life of the characters. But I knew for me, I need to find some like personal traction with it. And before we switched the genders, I kept thinking, well, oh, this is great, but wait, she did that already. And it wasn't until we switched the genders that it really like opened that up to me, because there were specific plot points that really had to change and backstories that needed to change. So I did a lot of work on those backstories, just so I would understand where these people came from, and so I could envision them as a whole 360 person.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So lovely. Yeah.